street lights lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose really quick and my eyes watering, but I thought I was live. I'm like dancing in the chat. I was dancing with myself. I really was. I had that's why the music, it was on a certain point, like towards the end. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's funny. For some reason, I thought I hit go live and I just didn't. I did it a different way in a different order, and I shouldn't have done that. So I hurry up and jumped on because I was like, oh, I feel bad. I don't want you guys to have to wait even longer for me to come on because it's like a 3-minute intro. So welcome in, everybody. My name is Tanya, or Titanium Bill, if you have not been here before. And if you saw me jamming out and having a dance party by myself in the chat, that's because I was listening to the live music by myself. So yeah, here I am. I'm here. I promise. That was pretty funny though. That was pretty funny. Thanks, Laura. A lot of people, I get mixed opinions about it. I think it's a pretty darn good intro, if you ask me. I do have a different intro for like my videos, and then I have a different intro for my other channel, which I really like that other channel song a lot, and it goes well with that channel. So, yeah, those are my dance moves. I've got all kinds. You should see me. I can even dance in a wheelchair. I've done it once before. It was at my own benefit party. I was like, I'm gonna go dance. I had a drink. That's all I needed was one drink, and I was ready to get the moves going. So my mom went out there and danced with me. How sweet was that? I thought that was really sweet of her. Are you muted again? No, I just didn't even start the show. So yeah, on TikTok today, my microphone, for some reason, I'm gonna have to have Vincent look at it, and he'll never do a TikTok live with me to figure that part out, but we'll figure it out without having to do a live. But when I go live on TikTok, my microphone will stop working after like 5 minutes. And I'm like, what is going on? I have a really good, it's right here. I have a really good microphone. It shouldn't be doing that. So I want to make sure like it's not like a defect, because I've had it for a while. They'll probably be like, you're stuck with it. But hey, Marcella, welcome in. Hey, Ladybug. No one can hear me. And hey, Laura. Hey, Catherine. Good to see everybody. Yeah, I know. I was like, they can't hear the music, because that's happened before where like my music just wasn't playing and like it just wouldn't play. Like it was a StreamYard thing. So I was like, Ladybug, I have no music. I was like, I have no music at all. I thought I don't know what I thought I did. I didn't know what I thought. I just thought it was crazy. I'm going to turn off my camera really quick. My eye is bothering me. And we got to fix that, don't we? Before we can get started. Now, I did find an article today that has pictures. We were talking about how we wanted to see like pictures of Bryan Kohberger kind of like throughout the years when he was going through the court system, Well, I found an article that kind of has that like perfectly. It's perfectly in there. So again, welcome in, everybody. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. It does help the channel get out into the algorithm, and it really helps me. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, why not? We talk true crime nightly, daily here. You might as well subscribe by now, You can always put it on customize alerts if you wanted to. And my camera seems like it's a little like different because I was showing you guys stuff earlier. So that's why. Hola, baby girl. Check this out. Hola. I made you something today. I'm learning. Now I got to find it. Okay. Hola. We have a new emoji. Does it look okay? I guess I could have done it black well, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to mess with it. Not even going to mess with it. Oh, you're okay, baby girl. But I made you a new emoji. I made some new emojis for the second channel. So if you guys are a member over there, you'll be a certain pepper. The hotter the pepper, the longer that you've been on the channel. So we did peppers over there. And then I was like, oh, I should make one really quick. It was before the live today. So they're not they're not hard to make, but they're definitely time consuming, you know? I was like, no wonders why Vincent was like trying to back out of doing my emojis. He thinks he backed out. This weekend he'll be doing them. I'll be giving him ideas. Okay. So let me get up here what we wanted. I did watch. Okay, so I've never watched the CyberSleuths when it came out. It came out the series came out February 5th, 2024, and episode 1 of the docuseries, it was a 3-part series, was called CyberSleuths: The Idaho Murders. That's the title. And then the like subtitle, whatever, was Crime Goes Viral. And it focused on the immediate like aftermath and the social media frenzy following November 13th stabbing murders. You know, of course, we all know what we're talking about here of 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, and Xana Kernodle, in an off-campus house in Moscow, Idaho. So it went through and it examined the amateur online sleuths, particularly on TikTok. I think that there was enough on YouTube as well. So, but both platforms, and it didn't really make them look good. It showed how they inserted themselves into the investigation during the 6 weeks that it took before the suspect, Bryan Kohberger, was in custody. They talked about how they, had potential leads, but they didn't, they would say they have sources. A source told them this, source told them that. They would visit the crime scene. They were trying to interview locals. They were spreading, theories around, mostly baseless, many baseless ones. And it flooded the police tip lines, and it further complicated the case. Really, it really did. There is, like I said, 3 parts to this. I don't know if I'll make it through the second part, but I'll try. I really will. Oh, are you going to bed? Good night. Oh, yeah. Good night, baby girl. Go to sleep. We'll see you tomorrow. Hola. I just love that now. So this episode included CyberSleuths like Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia, Bullhorn Betty, can't remember her name, and Andra, and a girl named Jenna. And I think that's the girl from Louisiana, I think. I don't know who this girl is from Louisiana, but she's like, man, she's something else. She's just something else. But she discusses this Jenna discusses their motives and methods, such as analyzing footage of the hoodie guy at the food truck or questioning the surviving roommate's actions. They all kind of did that. It also touches on the broader themes of how social media speculation can both aid urgency in solving crimes and cause harm through rumors, while contrasting it with professional journalism and law enforcement efforts. So a lot of the journalists that were on this episode also were saying, yeah, they can say what they want. They could do a lot more than what we can, but they're not going to lose their broadcasting license. And I didn't even know that there was like a thing. I was like, oh, we all have like a license or something. Like I really didn't. I didn't. I just thought like, I don't know. Journalists don't really have like license, like not all of them. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have media credentials, but I wouldn't really consider them a journalist, even if they've been written about a couple times in a book. That's all you have to be, like, to become a journalist, like get your media credentials. Like I forget, I looked it up one time. It's like someone has to write about you and publish it, and then something else. But it's like, well, that can happen. It could be bad, as long as someone's publishing it. But it does, the episode focuses on how amateur online detectives sifted through clues and pursued leads, while also examining the negative effect on rampant online speculation. It highlights the spread of false rumors and accusations, which some feared could hinder the official police investigation. And I think a lot of them actually, they did. They took resources, they took time, they took, things away from the officers, they were doing. These officers are working hard, and they have to stop to give us a press conference and debunk rumors because rumors were so bad. Like they had on their website a rumor page. like a tab for rumors. I've never seen it in a case since I've ever covered a case, and I've never seen it since. So that kind of says a lot. It says a lot, you know? And welcome in, everyone. Yeah, JLR was in there. He looks so young. And like, I don't know. He just looks different. He looks like a kid almost. I mean, he always looks like a kid to me, but he looks really young. Betty's wearing makeup, and it just freaks me out. I don't know. And then some of the stuff that Olivia says, I'm just like, did the Gonzalez family watch this? Purple Daisy, yes. Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. I just feel bad when, I don't know, when there's people like, I feel bad when the cops have to like step away from their desk to do a press conference. I mean, I don't know. I can just see like, if that was, I'm so ADHD. If I was working on something, I'd be so focused. And then if someone was like, hey, we need you to come over here, I'd be like, what? Like, I'd have like a total meltdown. But remember the lady that snuck in with her cell phone? She's the only person in the whole freaking building, right? And they're up there talking, and her cell phone's like, it's right by their face. I felt like it was so close to their face. Oh my good God. But she actually did get a question in. Oh, look at that. I love it whenever Vincent went to Target's and it just told me that he was leaving. Like it tells you like how much you saved or whatever. So the dogs will probably jump up here in a minute just to let you know. So JLR has a way of like the way he does things now, and he started doing them in Idaho too. He will kind of, instead of saying something as like a fact, like some creators will speak it, like they will talk to you like this, and like they will say, like they will just be like, it's the truth. I know. And they'll just be, they don't know, but they make you think that they're telling you the truth through intimidation. I don't know what it is. But there's been, I forget I was even getting to with that, but yeah, there's just a lot of creators that did a lot of crazy things during this case, and this web sleuths kind of reminded me a little bit, like not even so much like them, but more people. Oh, JLR, that's what I was gonna say. He actually came out, and I was a newer creator. There's no excuse for me. There's no excuse for me. But I remember, I don't remember exactly what the date was, or I would pull the live and we would watch it because I never don't delete lives. But somehow news got around that JLR found out that there was two killers in custody. I remember one of their names was like Chris or Chad. He had first and last names for both of them. I want to say like Chad White or Chris White. I want to say like White for some reason, but I don't think that's right. I don't know if that's right. And then Annie Elise the same day, like this is all happening as I'm live. So I'm kind of just regurgitating it, which I shouldn't have been. Like I should have been looking it up. Like that's what I do. You know me. After that, I want one and done with me. One and done. Seriously, I was like, I will look up everything now, and I am the most hesitant person. But because then Annie Elise came out and she said that it was, so then we find out it's Bryan Kohberger. So I remember that. Like it was all within the same day though. And so then we were like, okay, it's this guy got him Bryan Kohberger. And then she came out and she's like, yeah, he has two sisters, which was correct. But she said that his two sisters were neighbors with the King Road house. No, they're from Pennsylvania, but we didn't know this at the time. So I'm just kind of like saying this and, regurgitating it because I'm hearing it like through chat and through email and through, you know what I mean? Like we're checking everything. And so, yeah, I should find that live so we could play that. Because I remember whenever I found out it was wrong, devastation was on my face. Like I was so devastated. I felt so bad for like you guys because I was like, oh my gosh, and who are these people I just named? Do you know what I mean? He looked pretty skinny though, Ladybug, in the CyberSleuths. He looked pretty small. Wonder how him and Magnolia are doing. I haven't seen him or heard from him. You know what I mean? I don't listen to his channel too much. I will hear here or there. I'll watch something for a minute, but yeah. Dion, I was freezing today. I didn't know why, and it was because my air conditioner was on 70. It was like 60 degrees. 60. No, it was actually 80 today, so it was warm, but it was just like I was freezing. That's how I ended up wearing this shirt. Okay, so I was going to show you some stuff. And if you guys want, did I keep it? I didn't, but I can find it for you guys. If you guys want to watch the CyberSleuths, I can put it in the chat. Let me go find it real quick. This is the one you have to pay for. We don't want you to have to pay for it. Now, I don't know if they have all 3 episodes on here. I'm just, I've only seen the first one on here, so we'll see if they have the other ones. And I'll go through them. I'll watch them. Just because, I'll do that for you guys. Now I'd play it, but I don't know if I don't know if I can because, I don't want to get dinged. But let me put this in the chat for you guys just so you have it. And remind me, and I'll put it in the chat again. And then I forgot to put my banner in there too. Because I jumped on so fast. I felt so bad. I was like, I thought we were like jamming together, but we weren't. And if you're just now coming into the live, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate you. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. It really means a lot. If you want to request any cases that you want me to cover, you can always comment under this video after we're done, or you can go back to like my previous live from this afternoon or last night and just comment underneath that one or any community post. So I just want to give you guys that heads up. I do have some more notes. I've got more. So it scared me. The door. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let them out. They're so happy. Hold on. Okay. They're so excited to see him. Make sure I wasn't, sending them out to someone that wasn't him. No, what was it, Ladybug? Because I was talking to somebody, but I don't know who they were. I mean, it could have been anybody. But it was fun over there. Okay, let me share the screen. Actually, let me wait. I'll read these other notes off to you. Basically, if you haven't seen the episode, I just watched episode 1. So it opens up with like Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia, talking about how she covers true crime. She kind of was like, well, I cover true crime. And then she I don't know, she paused and then I think she was trying to like not put herself in a certain niche, but she does do true crime. So I don't know. Betty then comes on and she is wearing one hell of a shirt. I need to find the shirt. Okay, look at this. Why she does not like wear this shirt every single day of her life. It's beyond me. And she needs to. She needs to. Silence is an answer too. Who made you that shirt, Betty? She should wear this all the time. She should. See how she put on here her TikTok instead of her YouTube because, she wanted to make sure She had more subscribers, more followers over there, which it's hard. For some reason, I don't get on TikTok a lot, but I need to get more people on TikTok. So if you're not following me, go over there and follow me. Oh my gosh, they're already back. I thought they'd give me a minute. So, basically, okay. So basically it pans in and it's Olivia. And I forgot. Then it goes to JLR. And JLR talks about Olivia and how many subscribers she has. And I don't even have that many as her. And at the time, he had like 100,000. And he's like way over that now. He gets like 100,000 views on a video. Geesh, Mia. Let me let her in. I'm like, did you hear her? Mia, you don't need to break in. It's not. Come on. Change something. All right, come on. Nope, over there. Let your sister in. Come on. Come on, you gotta let your sister in. Oh, she wanted to come in. She's coming in. Okay, she did it. But she wants that bed. Okay. Crazy. Sorry about that. Hey, Boone. There's 2 dog beds in here, but the dog wants to sleep with the other dog, and she doesn't want that. Be good girls. Okay. So then Olivia, it pans back on Olivia. So it goes Olivia, JLR, Betty, then pans back to Olivia. And Olivia is just talking so good on Betty. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just have seen her and I saw her in Idaho. She was spitting at people. I mean, it was crazy, right? It was a little crazy. She talks about how Betty went to law school. When, where? She was like a paralegal or something, but I don't think she's ever had any. I think she got that like right out of high school or something. I don't think she's had any college experience. Maybe she has and I don't know about it. Let me know in the chat. I don't think she has. I don't know. I thought she was like a paralegal, but I know you have to have like, sometimes you have to have like a certain amount of years to do that. But I think that I don't think she did. I think it was like a long time ago. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. But then the producer told Olivia that she had a sustain for mainstream media. Like, she was like talking to Olivia and she's like, yeah, you have a sustain for like mainstream media. And then Olivia like giggles. Wonder how News Nation would feel about that. Like, she goes on their show. I'm just like, what? They talk about the early stuff. Hey, Cirrus. They talk about the early stuff and like the investigation, how everyone blamed Jack for this. And I'm talking about Jack Showalter, the hoodie guy. And then about what what Maddie told Adam. They talked about how they blamed Jack Decor. They straight talked about it. They were like, yeah, we blamed him. Like, one girl was like, I don't know who she was. She's someone from TikTok and she's from Louisiana or something. And she was just like, yeah, we blamed everybody pretty much. Like, she's like, if the cops are allowed to question them, why can't I? Well, I mean, I guess you can. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can. I don't really know what to say to that. Like, First Amendment right? You know what I mean? But if they say that they are cleared and then you know, come back and you're like, no, they did it. Like, I just, that's what I don't get, right? Like, not every police agency is corrupt. And it always seems like that every big case that we like cover, corruption, police corruption. I mean, think about it. There's a lot. I'm surprised they haven't done it. Actually, no one's really following Long Island serial killer, as it feels like, but they did it in the Delphi case. They did it in this case. They've done it in I mean, there is a lot of cases that they've done it in. Yeah, more harm than good, you know? Seriously, more harm than good. They blame a lot of people and I don't know. I guess that's probably why people watch mainstream media. But at the same time, YouTube is where it's at. I'm sure TikTok is just as popular. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I like longer form content, I guess. I need more like, you know, of the news about stuff. So you can't sum it stuff up and sometimes in 3 minutes, you know? Hey, Cherie, where you been, girl? Feels like I haven't seen you in a while. So then they start talking about WSU Mom Kim. And then I lost an hour of my life because I know for a fact, and I will find it. Why didn't I check my tabs? I don't think it's in my tabs. But I had the email from her that she wrote. I'm just looking through these tabs, but that she wrote to a few creators about this case. And I know I like pinned it or like started or whatever, but I can't find it. So I'm gonna have Vincent help me find that tomorrow because I want to go over that. I just want to go over it because I was going to go over tonight. I was going to go over and see how much she had right and what she had wrong. She had a lot wrong. But Olivia kind of acts like she doesn't know how she got a hold of her. First, she says she was already out there talking, which is a lie. I don't really remember that. Maybe she did. So she says she talked to Drunk Turkey first, but I thought she talked to Olivia first. Like, I could have sworn that, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong because that was a very crazy part of this case. I even actually pulled up a document of where it was like 5 pages long of where I was debunking the stuff that she was coming out with. And then at the bottom it said creator she has talked to, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense, you know. So she then says she saw her on the Drunk Turkey show. I wonder if I could play that part. Probably not. I'm not going to try. But they make the sleuths look like they don't know what they're doing in this video. They kind of do that. They have a couple people that are like journalists, a couple people, pretty much just like one, I think, or two. And then everyone else is either from TikTok or YouTube. The people that are representing YouTube, we got Betty, Olivia, and JLR. The dream team. I don't know. They kind of broke up after that, you know? Well, that's because, oh yeah, he broke up with her. They then talk about how Olivia got the interview with the Goncalves' family, and they say she just says like that Steve reached out to her through, I believe it was an email, and he asked her if she wanted to talk. He had went through Kaylee's social media, I guess her TikTok, saw who she was following, and that's how he got a hold of her. That's one way to do it, I guess, you know. I figured she probably got a hold of them, but I guess not. But after that, they talk about the suspect that was their own suspect in their own minds, DNA Jeremy. When we heard people were saying that they thought Jeremy was a suspect, I think we all collectively like kind of chuckled in this chat because him, that guy, like, I mean, look at Bryan, you know, he's nothing special neither. But Jeremy was like, so I don't know. He just was like, just too upfront with things. And I don't know. You could just tell like he was more scared than anything, right? Like he was like, yeah, I had to go get like a gun or something, he said. And then he went into the police station and he said, will you take my DNA and clear me? Everyone's harassing me. And I'm like, I can understand that. Like I could understand going to the police station and doing that. And that's why I call him, you know, DNA Jeremy, because he was like, take my DNA, please just take it. He was just a guy that lived in the neighborhood that happened to, you know, stumble on content creators as he's taking his trash out. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going nowhere without someone asking him a question. He probably didn't know. And he just walks out to take the trash out. And they're all like, hey, you know, what'd you hear? What'd you see? And he did say that, you know, it was a party house. He does remember there were some nights that like he would, you know, be at his house or he'd be taking the trash out and he would see a party was going on there. That's nothing really new. So then after that, they kind of end it with well, not they don't end it with this, but the last person that they talk about is Ashley from TikTok, and she had the account Ashley is God. She's no longer on the app. I've looked. I've looked for her. I don't think she's made an appearance yet. If she does, and if she ever goes live, I will totally try to go up on her panel and talk to her. But that would be hilarious. She is something else. She is batshit crazy. Let's just be real. She was a tarot reader in this case that had no tarot cards, but like one time, like one video, did someone steal her cards or something? She never had them after that. But she had those ugly nails. I remember that. They were all different colors. One was like pink, yellow, green, purple. I don't know. It didn't look right. It didn't look good. So she made the accusations that Professor Schofield, which is a woman at the University of Idaho, was Kaylee's lesbian lover, and that she recruited Jack DeCour to kill Kaylee and her friends. Yeah. It was so far out there. Like this teacher didn't even teach Kaylee or Jack or any of the kids that were in the house that survived, or anybody that died, or anybody even around them. Like she wasn't a professor for any of them. I think she just probably grabbed her name out of the, they probably had I think they did actually. I think at the time before all this, they had a website that had all the teachers, professors on them. She probably picked somebody that was young, because Professor Schofield was pretty young, and she probably just went about it. She wouldn't let up on the videos. Like they were telling her, like they're giving her warnings or sending her C&Ds. Like, stop talking about, Miss Schofield, like her lawyer was sending these, or we're going to sue you. She didn't care. Nope, she didn't care. Like, what are you going to do for me? She was sit in front of her Christmas tree and just be talking. I mean, we did lives on her. We should go back to those lives, because her videos are gone and we have them all. Oh, we might have to do that. That would be a funny live, because she is that crazy. Like you will listen to her and be like, what? And people believed it. Until they didn't. I mean, until they didn't anymore. That's kind of how that started, or ended, I guess you would say. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, Suzanne. Welcome in. Oh, Marcella. Yeah, no, I didn't forget. I'll never forget. I had a meltdown on this channel, and it was, I think, in April. I don't know why I say April when I didn't go on vacation until September. That would be 5 months. It had to have been after that. Had to have been in the summer, but me and Kelly D were going back and forth. She was in the chat and I was here, and I was just like, it was about the Linda Lane footage. And I was like, I'm not watching any more than an hour. And it was, yeah. And then me and I had someone on my panel. Oh, I forget her name. She was hilarious, though. She was funny to mess with. Like, we were just messing with each other back and forth after a certain point. You know what I mean? It was just like, after a certain point, it was like we were both clowning on each other. And then I went on vacation, and I did 7 days or 10 days of pre-recordeds, or premieres. They were pre-recorded. So they came out as a premiere, and they did so well. And when I came back, the chat, everybody was completely just calm, cool. I don't know who put the word out, don't mess with Tanya, because literally when I came back, it was a different atmosphere. It was just like, and it's been like this ever since, just really cool and just awesome. Really, Bundy? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. What are you doing back here? Licking your paw? Yeah, you are. Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. Good times back in, those days. I mean, I don't miss them. I don't miss them at all. I think that if the trial would have happened, maybe it would have been worse for a little while, but maybe it would be worse for longer, right? Because we're in September, the trial would still be going on. I wonder what we'd be learning about right now if the trial was going on. Probably still talking about cell phone data or something. Oh yeah, so these are the pictures I was going to show you. These of Kohberg's. It's in the Pocono Record. That's where he's from. So they put it in their local paper, and they put this in there June 26th. So I do have some pictures of him after that. A lot of the pictures that I wanted to put out or put up, like him wearing the white shirt, of him wearing like all the ugly ties, which there's some of those in here. They look so blurry because they were taken. They only had that one camera in there to pull for like the pool camera or whatever. So they were taking images from that. So they're really grainy. But I did grab some images, and then I have some that I can overlay that I have in my studio. So thanks, Marcella. This is the best chat, really. It really is. Oh. He buried his shovel with him. Or his shovel, not his shovel, his sword. Sorry, his shovel. That'd be kind of hard. But yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. Okay, so this is the first, I think this is like the first picture we probably, other than the night before, the night before when he was, or no, that would have been after. So no, this was probably one of the first pictures that we saw of the courthouse when Bryan Kohberger was being taken into the Monroe County Court, So it says, here it says, a view of the Monroe County Courthouse on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Media outlets set up shop outside the building ahead of a court appearance scheduled for Bryan Kohberger, who is facing extradition to Idaho in the slayings of 4 college students. Is this the start of, or what is that? The, I can't think of what it's called. I should know this. We used to sell them. I'm trying to think of what it's called. I can't say the word. Okay, let's see. Menorah. Is it menorah? Is that what that is? Like, it looks like they're getting ready to put it up or take it while they'd be taking it down, I guess. Just kind of sad. It says media crews take shelter under tents in Stroudsburg's Courthouse Square the morning of January 3rd, ahead of court appearance for Bryan C. Kohberger. Kohberger was arrested in relation to the slayings of 4 Idaho college students at a home in Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains in December. A Monroe County public defender said Kohberger does not plan to fight extradition to Idaho. Which, that would have been a waste of his time anyway. They would just wait 10 days and be, done with it. Thanks, Ladybug. That's what I thought. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember the word. That's sad. That's just like, there. So I remember this. I remember seeing the cars pull up. So the police says Stroud Area Regional and Pennsylvania State Police vehicles park outside the Monroe County Courthouse on January 3rd. And then it says that, who was arrested? He was arrested in Chestnut Hill Township in relation to the murders of 4 college students. And my family is from around that area. Like, they're not from there, but they used to travel there a lot. To the Poconos. My mom did anyway. And I remember hearing about like a lot of these places from her. Like Chestnut Hill Township. I remember that. Like, I don't know why she told me about that place, but she did. So then this is the PSP Commissioner, Robert Evanchik, addresses reporters at a conference on January 3rd in Monroe County following the extradition hearing for Bryan Kohberger. You gotta say something. Hey, we got the guy. Guess he was in our town. The district attorney, Michael Mancuso, attends a press conference after the Bryan Kohberger hearing held on January 3rd. That hearing was like so short and so disappointing, I guess you would say, because we had waited 6 weeks, 7 weeks to see who committed these crimes, who committed these murders. we literally got like 2 seconds to look at him, right? Like first time we get a look at him, he is taken from like a van or into the courthouse, and it's you're looking at him, but then you're actually looking at the cute cop that's like on the other, I was anyway. I was like, well, look at that cute cop. And then I'm like, oh wait, Bryan Kohberger, So then we saw him come through the hallway. That was like a total of maybe 10 seconds, maybe, and then back through the hallway. I was like, what? I just wanted to be like, be in the courtroom. So then here's the cops here. Law enforcement personnel keep watch shortly before a convoy believed to be carrying murder suspect Bryan Kohberger entered the Latah County Courthouse on January 4th in Moscow. I wonder how that plane ride was. I would have been terrified. I don't like them little planes like that. Then here he comes. Why does that door look like it's cracked open? Like he's going to be jumping out. Law enforcement vehicle with obscured windows. Oh, yeah, they did obscure the back window. Look, with like paper or something. Oh, my God. You think they would have something better than that? I don't know what that is, but that's what it looks like. They did put a helmet on his head, too. So, I mean, they were making sure no one shot him in the head even. So it says Bryan Kohberger enters the Latah County Courthouse on January 4th. So then here he is. First time we get to see him. The cop just opens the door for him, just lets him on in. Where's his cuffs? I wondered that. Also, hands are a little red, but not real red. And why is this cop looking at his butt too? This is the second person I've caught looking at Kohberger's butt. What is so special about his behind? I don't know if you see this officer, but he totally is. And we caught Jay Logston. I'll show you the overlay. Actually, Jay Logston's is the funniest one. Look at this. Kohberger, what's up with your butt, man? I don't know. Hey, cupcakes. I know he's afraid to fly. That was the best part. They put him in a little tin can. And then they're like, everybody, here's the flight. Watch us fly. Watch us stop for gas. Remember they stopped for gas and they like took him into that little like rest area. So this is the first time he appeared in court, and this was in Latah County. Well, like the first time in a Latah County court. And he was in there on January 5th. And he was arrested, obviously, for the murders. This is a brand new jail outfit just for him. I mean, it's still got like the wrinkles in it where it was like folded. I mean, they made it just for him. Now the pants, I don't know about that. Those don't look as fresh. Kohberger looks towards Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson as he takes his seat in Latah County District Court on January 5th. Look at that look. I know I can. You just give me a second to figure it out. There we go. Oh my God. If looks could kill. Let me get me out of the way. I feel like you guys could see this better if I do this. Do you see the eyes? Damn. Bill, I'd have been scared of him too. That's probably why you gave him a little plea deal. Dang, Bill. He was big mad right there. He was not happy. He's like, you got my ass back over here to Idaho. I thought I got away with this. According to Bill. So then Bryan looks towards his attorney, public defender, and Taylor during a hearing. And then look at his eyes towards her. I wonder if, like, does it hurt to have your eyes open that wide, or does he just have big eyes? I don't know. Could be. So then, Ann's over here talking to Jay. What are they talking about? Who knows? But Kohberger's like, I'm just going to sit here. And then they look at this, freshly printed. I don't know whose cricket that was done on, but prisoner Latah CSO jail. They did a perfect job on it. Look at this. This is still like, look at the wrinkles where they're at. That is because it was folded. It was given him. It was brand new. That was just for him. So this is the first couple times we see Kohberger. Let's look at his eyebrows. They kind of be looking thin. They're not looking real thick here, but I think he has that prominent brow, like that bone brow, that brow bone or whatever you want to call it. Side profile. That's them taking him out. Look, he actually has his arm on him that time. He didn't let him open the door, And then he's coming back in again. Now that look, I mean, that's pretty. Knowing what we know now, how dare he, right? How dare he walk in these courtrooms every single time with just whatever look he wanted to look like, knowing what he did. And knowing he wasn't going to get away with it. Dude, you had probably one of the best defense, attorneys that are paid for by the state, like, ever. Like, I've never seen anybody do the work that Ann Taylor did for this guy. I mean, really, she did some work for him. She was bullshitting and bullshitting some more, right? She was trying to throw anything out. She was doing what she should have been doing. Like, she was trying to get things done, but he just was too guilty, I wonder what she thinks now. Like, she's, you know what? Like, we said, like, oh man, she probably is missing that 200 hour, but she's probably not. She probably makes pretty good money and like doing just regular cases, and she doesn't have to put up with this psychopath, right? Like this, I mean, I don't know. So, and then now we got him in a suit. Now, why did she pick the ugliest ties ever in the world? Ever? She did. They're just the ugliest. I don't know what it is about them. They're all ugly. I should do a whole compilation. So ugly tie number 1. Defendant Bryan Kohberger enters the courtroom. Look, just by himself. This cop's not even looking at him. He's looking the other way. What if Kohberger, right here's his gun. What if he stole that? Or his stun gun or whatever it is right there. He could just grab that. Oh, man. And then this was on June 9th, 2023. And then you got, Elisa Massive. She just smiled a lot during this case, and he don't care. He didn't care about her at all. This is June 9th again. Look at him. He's look his face. He's like clenching his jaw. It's probably because she's just got done saying something. I don't think he liked her. I don't think he did. So then we got Judge John Judge, the one and only. Bless his soul, He just wasn't cut out for this job. So then we got this one. Oh, I think that's actually the only tie that's normal. Okay, I'll give him that. He had one normal looking tie. I may pick that out. Let me see. But this one I would not. It's too short. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Why was he always in blue? Is there some, I know there's something about the colors. So let's see what they say about blue. Oh, look at this. For a defendant wearing a dark navy blue suit or otherwise conservative neutral blue clothing is often considered a good option. Color psychology research suggests that blue can project a sense of trustworthiness, stability, and seriousness, which can be advantage. I can't even say that in a courtroom setting. Now I need to learn how to do 3 syllables. Sometimes I just can't. Advantageous in a courtroom setting. And it says reason to consider wearing blue. Look, I'm wearing blue. I would be considered trustworthy. Trust and loyalty. Professionalism. Neutrality. Alternative to black. Some experts recommend avoiding black suits. Yeah, I've seen that. I've heard that. Yeah. So, okay. He was always wearing blue, it seemed like. Except for that one time he wore that plain white shirt and the sleeves were all funky. We'll see, I'm sure. He was feeling pretty good this day. He's smiling a little bit at old Ann, you know. This was before a hearing on August 18th, 2023. This one right here. And then we got this one. Another ugly tie to me. Doesn't match the suit. I don't know. Bryan Kohberger, accused of murder, arrives for a hearing on camera in the courtroom in Latah County. This was on September 13th, 2023. Look at that smile. It's almost as creepy as the one that we saw. Now, if we could have saw that straight on. No, if I was Jay Logston and I was looking at it from that vantage point, I probably would pack my bags up and be like, I'm out. He probably left after this. This was probably his last time in the courtroom. I think it was. I'll just stick with being at the office. So this was September 13th. And then like, he looks like he's just like, whatever. And this guy's like, whatever. Then we got same date, I think. Is it the same one? This is Kohberger listens to arguments during a hearing to overturn his grand jury indictment on October 26, 2023. So then let's see what I've got, because I have a bunch of pictures of Kohberg's. Now, I know this one is the first one of him that I remember. We're just going to go through them all. We've got this one, actually. So this would be first, if we're going to go through the whole chronological order. We've got this one. We've got him in Pennsylvania. There's the cute cop behind him with the tattoo. Doesn't get old looking at him. And then here's when Kohberger came to Latah. I've never seen anybody sit down for a mugshot. Have you guys? I thought they always stood so they can get their height. But I mean, maybe they do it a different way now. I'm sure they do. See, he's not like holding a sign like they do in the old days either. So then we got him here. I'm not going to go in any order, actually. I'm just going to go in the way that I have them. And then the next one would be him smiling at Ann. See, like that is creepy to me, but just the teeth make it way worse. I wish he was OCD up on them teeth a little bit. Then we got him here, but I think we saw that one. Then we got him here. People are like, look at Bryan Kohberger. He looks like a normal person. Well, yeah. So did Ted Bundy. I mean, really. Okay, same picture. This one, to me, solidified he was guilty. I don't know why. I do know why. I'll tell you why. Because if I was holding my hand up like that, and I was innocent of something, my hand would be. It's hard to hold your hand still like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of hard to hold them still. Like mine are shaking right now. I just feel like, I don't know, that picture to me, I was just like, dude, you are just too relaxed. Too relaxed. I mean, I don't know. Just, that was me. Then here he is walking into court with that ugly ass tie. Okay, and we got him here. I love that the smallest guy, I mean, I think he's like the actual like chief or something, but I love that he is the one that had him. Like he's like the smallest one, and he's the one that had a hold of him. And then we've got, Bryan looking at Ann like he wants to, hurt her. And then we've got Jay looking at Bryan's butt. I'm not sure what's up with his butt, but I mean, I do have a lot of pictures of Kohberger. We've got like a few more. I mean, I'm going to buy a few. I mean, I'm got, dang, what's up with all these pictures? I don't know why that one made me laugh, but it does. He was so skinny at this hearing. Look at his wrist. His wrists are smaller than mine. Like, he cannot weigh over 150 pounds right here, 160 tops. And that's like pushing it. And got him an extra ugly tie for this hearing. It looks like a doily that my mom would have. Actually, she wouldn't have that. Very demure. It could be Laura. Oh, really, Maga Mama? I could see that. Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. He looked like he wanted, like, yeah, that's what he kind of looked like he wanted the room to think. This is kind of this is like one of my favorites because I feel like this is when he knew he was screwed. Like, I'm done. He's screwed. Game over. But my, one of my all-time favorites is, this one here. Him getting arrested. That's probably my favorite picture of Bryan Kohberger, I would say. Because he tried to do everything to obscure his, him being found out who he was. I mean, he had to have known that they were on to him, right? Because if he felt like he got away with this, right, he wouldn't have been hiding his trash in the neighbor's trash can or taking it somewhere else because they found his father's there. He wouldn't have been hiding his trash in like plastic baggies. That's not an OCD thing. Nope. Nope. Not to do that. You wouldn't be touching that. Nope. You would not. And even with gloves, you just would not. No. Okay. So Long Crime came out with a video. Oh my God. First image is Bryan with no shirt on. Apparently I'm just closing my eyes. Apparently they've received 150 selfie photos. When I was skimming through this, I didn't see 150. So we're going to watch and we're going to see what they say. I did show you guys a bunch from last night. A good amount anyway. Some of these will be in here. So yeah, I'm sorry that I'm doing this to you guys again, but this one's different actually. This one we didn't see. He's like, this one he's flexing. I should recreate Bryan Kohberger's selfie poses, like, because they are kind of funny. This one looks like, okay, I don't know. This one could be at his mom's, but it could be at his apartment, I guess. Oh, geez, Bryan Kohberger. Like, what's he flexing? Okay, what's he flexing? Because when you're that skinny, you're not flexing nothing, right? It's just your whatever's left that you've got on the arm, some like little whatever fat, or it's not ever muscle. It's usually some fat, and that's what you're just flexing. Like, oh, and he's smiling. Look at this smile, and look at the eyebrows. I would say that those are pretty heavy. Okay, I'm going to play this. We're going to hear what they've got to say. He lost a lot of weight, yes. And I don't think he got that surgery, that skin tightening surgery. Like, I keep pressing buttons because he just doesn't look like he did. But I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I don't see any scars either from this point, but it could be lower than that. I don't want to see anything lower than what we've seen right now. Didn't even want to see this. But I do wonder how Bryan feels about these. Wouldn't you be like totally embarrassed, right? I would be. I mean, I should show you guys my camera roll just so I don't feel like weird. But no, like I'll take pictures and I never post them. I did the other day actually. Took 2 videos for you guys and didn't even post them. So, but I don't do this kind of stuff. I don't flex in the mirror. But I am a firm believer that you should take pictures of yourself in every stage of life. Like, right, just to show your future self what you look like when you were younger. But I wouldn't be doing this.
Lots of like flexing muscles, selfies, half clothed.
Like, oh, look at the belly there. Like, see, I don't think he got that surgery. His belly doesn't. That belly is not natural. That is not natural. That's no. I've never, and that boob is not natural. I'm sorry. That does not look natural. Right? Like, if you're a runner, you should have more of a runner's body. Like, I think that this is his extra stuff. And is this his mom's? I don't know. Looks like it.
Like that. There's numerous instances of that on his phone.
Bryan Kohberger was obsessed with his appearance, and now we're seeing that up
See, that's much better, Kohberger. Should have stuck with that.
close from a trove of selfies from his phone. BK's fantasy life, it's on full display before and after he murdered 4 University of Idaho students.
What is up with the thumbs up, Maine? WSU, he's got the sweater on. I wonder if this is the night he was arrested.
Some of these images are going to shock you.
Yeah,
Plus,
they do.
We see some of what he was searching online when it came to serial killers and the murder case. We're going to show all of it to you.
Oh, wait, I have something to tell you guys. I think I have his... Okay, so I have his supposed... I'm still looking into this. My source. I don't have a source. My source is Reddit. My source is Reddit. But it came up and I saw it, so I want to look into it more. But it says that this is... And it says confirmed. Evidence confirmed. And it says that it's Bryan Kohberger's watch list. Like what he was watching on YouTube. I wasn't on there. I'm like, oh, okay, then whatever, Bryan Kohberger. I'm just kidding. I don't care. But I did see some familiar names, so I want to look into it more before, I bring it out. But I will let you guys know by tomorrow afternoon what I found out. Because I'm curious to know.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Just when you think you had seen it all when it comes to Bryan Kohberger, you see a little more that sends a chill down your spine, or just makes you cringe, or maybe it just makes you roll your eye.
Maybe it makes you vomit, Anjanette.
A few weeks ago, we talked to 2 digital forensics experts from Celebrate who analyzed Bryan Kohberger's cell phone and computer. Kohberger deleted much of what was on there, wiping his devices and using incognito mode and VPNs to hide his online activity. But he didn't delete the dozens and dozens of selfies that he took of himself. And those tell a story of a man.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He likes the way he looks. Why would he delete them?
Who was living in his own fantasy world, living in his own mind. He was obsessed with himself and his appearance. I'm going to show all of it to you. Every one of these photos we obtained, it's important that you see what we're dealing with here. This is a person who has admitted to murdering 4 young people that he had no association with at all. He admitted to it in open court. He admitted that he broke into that house on King Road intending to commit the crime of murder, and he did it, and he celebrated himself for it afterward. Kohberger was not only obsessed with himself and his body and his image, but he also was obsessed with serial killers. That is very clear, and he likely would have killed again. I believe that in my heart of hearts. He may have had a cooling off period, but I believe that he liked the way that killing made him feel. For the first time in his life, he likely felt powerful. Kohberger is now serving 4 life sentences for the heinous, brutal murders of Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. That photo was posted to Instagram less than 12 hours before their lives were stolen. So let's start with a look at what the FBI and Celebrate found on Kohberger's phone before the murders in 2022. This first selfie is from June 25th of 2022. Kohberger is not smiling, but looking directly at the camera. This would have been right as he was arriving in Washington from Pennsylvania. From the looks of it, he's outside and near people. Knowing what we know about him now, it comes as a little bit of a shock that he's taking photos of himself in public. It sounded like he was a bit of an introvert. Then we see his first car selfie.
I mean, I'm an introvert and I've taken pictures of myself before out public.
It's the middle of the summer, and Kohberger is probably taking advantage of his break from school and enjoying the beautiful weather in Washington. So the next day, he's out by the water and appearing to be a little more comfortable in front of the camera. On June 30th, he's all dressed up and he takes a few photos before getting a bite to eat at a restaurant.
I like that they know what these photos are for. Like, wow.
Kohberger doesn't take his next selfie until about a week later. And by the looks of it, he's in his apartment bathroom.
There's that toilet. No, there's the shower curtain. Oh, God, that one's creepy. Okay, that's creepy. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
Later that day, he heads out for a hike. This is about 4 months before the murders.
His face looks a lot slimmer there. Or maybe he's just pursing his lips or something.
This next collection of photos is Kohberger outside at night, appearing sweaty.
Is he
wearing
running?
activewear and earbuds? It's safe to assume he was probably on a late night walk or run, something he did often.
That sweat, he was running.
Stops to pose with a statue of his school's mascot, the cougar. Now, this next collection of photos, it's kind of peculiar. He appears to be posing with a sheet from a notebook several times with random letters.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Even some with his name and birthday. But then the photos get a little more interesting on July 19th.
Okay, she said it was on his birthday. See, that's the picture where his jeans and his shirt meet. As far as I know, the other picture, it was altered.
I cover a lot of pretty...
The other picture with his shirt up over his waistband, that one is altered. The one that Ashley Banfield, I told you guys last night, used on her channel, that's AI or something.
Scary stories here on the line. You ever wonder why you get so much data to get access to a team of team yourself out there and an annual plan for an awkward guy?
Because I'm sure they would definitely post it on here if that, you know.
He really trying to put himself out there and participate.
Well, we haven't seen them on any news station other than Banfield. That I'm on her separate channel that I've seen, and it was just a thumbnail. And then she changed the thumbnail from last night till today.
Participate in social events. The move
I think it's funny either way.
Likely Kohberger's chance to remake himself and try to fit in. The start of his new life as he tries to become Professor Kohberger, or was it all a facade? In August, Kohberger took a...
Let me know if you guys find out where that picture came from, like who got that picture, because it wasn't Law and Crime, obviously.
Few trips before school gets back into session. Kohberger's confident...
But it was on Twitter before Ashley Banfield even talked about it at all, like 2 days before.
And appears to radiate on top of a mountain, and he has a little photo shoot.
Maybe they'll show it. We'll see.
He stays on top of that mountain until the evening, capturing a few more selfies before the sun goes down. Kohberger makes it down safe from the mountain and likely grabs a bite to eat. Then he takes a photo of a back-to-school shopping trip. He poses with another notebook sheet on August 17th, but then we get a first-hand look at Kohberger's self-obsession. The next series of photos seem to be him trying to capture images of the back of his head, possibly a haircut.
Doesn't look like he's trying to get the back of his head. That's the front of his face. Oh, there we go. When were these taken?
Here's another nighttime selfie. Kohberger takes 2 photos of his fist through the mirror in his bathroom. And honestly, it comes as a surprise to see the streaks on his mirror, given how much of a clean freak he is supposed to be. On October 23rd, Kohberger took 2 photos in.
There are different types of people with those CDs. There are people that can live in hoarding situations and be just cool and fine and dandy as long as they know where all their shit is that they need. They're good. Bryan is OCD with cleanliness to his hands and maybe his body, because his shower is perfectly, his bathroom is very clean. And the rest of his apartment is not clean. Like, I don't care who you are, that is not clean. Like, that is picked up in like the living room, that's picked up. But I mean, and you go in those closets, it's just paperwork and just junk everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, that just, coming from somebody with OCD, that's not clean to me.
His bathroom at his apartment in Pullman, Washington, right in front of the shower.
There was food,
Notice there
like,
is
right
a
by
shower curtain
the
there.
fridge.
And one, he's staring straight ahead. Another is taken from a different angle. 5 days before the murders, Kohberger may have gotten a haircut. He takes a few photos of the back of his head. Then the photos, of course, jump ahead to November 13th, the day that changed everything in so many ways for so many people.
I know the one picture.
We all know the infamous thumbs up selfie. We've seen it before, but this is a much clearer image than the one that we had previously seen. This was taken just before 10:30 that morning, after he returned from a second trip to Moscow. Note the Band-Aid on his left ring finger. Could this have been from an injury that he suffered during the homicides? Only he knows. But also look at his hands and knuckles. They appear to be red and white at the tips from apparent scrubbing. He's been described as a germaphobe, but was he actually trying to scrub away the evidence of what he had done? The rest of these photos were all taken in the weeks after the homicides. Some of these photos are candid, where Kohberger isn't even looking at the camera or appearing camera ready. They are screen grabs from videos recorded from his phone. Some of the faces he's making, it makes you wonder what he was trying to capture or why. In this next series of photos, we can see that Kohberger,
he's like, I'm just wondering what my hair would look like if I didn't have it so long.
Is in his Washington State University hoodie, and some of these selfies were in his home, and he's trying out a few different looks.
Okay, someone's got to recreate these that looks more like Bryan Kohberger than me. Right? Cupcakes? Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Now, most of the photos seem to be inside of his home, but he did venture out to other locations like his car.
His car. Still in the parking lot of his house.
What is significant about these black hoodie photos? Investigators found a cached image from a show about Ted Bundy that Kohberger had watched and saved from YouTube. That person on the thumbnail is wearing a hoodie, and it says Ted on it. Ted Bundy killed dozens of women from coast to coast, but was caught in Florida after killing sorority sisters at the Chi Omega House at Florida State University in Tallahassee. Now, shortly after those selfies, we know that he traveled back home to Pennsylvania with his father. With that in mind, it's safe to assume the next set of photos were most likely taken in his parents' home. It's important to note because now the photos are more posed. Could that indicate that he might be feeling more confident or safe in his childhood home?
Oh my gosh. Oh my. He needs a selfie stick. Not anymore.
Because the first shirtless selfie after the murders was just on December 20th,
Why do you do that to us?
3 days later, he takes a few more in his kitchen.
Just the thought of that. Like, that's creepy.
Some of these photos we have seen before. Kohberger in a black hoodie and beanie that he may have purchased at Walmart in Pullman before the murders. But there are a few that we haven't seen, including these taken on Christmas Day, one in a bathroom. This full-length selfie gives us a glimpse into the home where he spent his teen years. and Kohberger posed with his family dog. Following
Where's the
his
dog?
arrest, he was very concerned about
Yeah, he
his
was.
dog and his
Oh, he was so concerned. There's the dog. You'll never see the dog again. They ain't gonna fly that dog out and take that into the prison to see you. But he was like, is my dog okay?
parents and how they were doing. After Christmas, he takes a few photos holding his hair back, again testing out different smiles and different looks. We didn't know it before, but this was the
Hey, Kohberger, they all sucked.
last selfie that Kohberger took before he was arrested. He may have had no idea what was coming the following day, but we know that he was definitely getting paranoid. I'll have more on that later. What's interesting is that he took 2 photos prior to this. This was most likely directly before the last photo, but then he took this one, the same jacket without the hood, a day earlier. Now, Celebrate, I mentioned earlier, is a firm that employs top experts from around the world in digital.
Is she telling us he was wearing the same clothes for 2 days in a row? Hold on.
Getting paranoid. I'll have more on that later. What's interesting is that he took 2 photos prior to this. This was most likely directly before the last photo, but then he took this one, the same jacket without the hood, a day earlier.
Okay, so it's just the jacket with the hood. Okay, I thought it was like the same outfit. Okay.
Now, Celebrate, I mentioned earlier, is a firm that employs top experts from around the world in digital forensics. They analyze electronics and testify at trials. I spoke with Heather Barnhart and Jared Barnhart last month about their work analyzing Kohberger's devices and everything they found on them.
It was just really bizarre behavior. And then there were also, Jared, do you remember all of I saw the show or movie American Psycho just a few times, and how much the guy loved himself and would take selfies in the mirror and how clean he would want to be and just examining his body. He seemed to do those same types of things.
Yeah, lots of like flexing muscles, selfies, half clothed, like that. There's numerous instances of that on his phone. There was also he spent a lot of time on Reddit, and especially post-crime. There's tons of history of him looking into like the Idaho murders on Reddit. And that's actually another thing that stood out, is this wasn't just someone who was like, hey, I'm interested in the case. He was going and downloading the Moscow press releases to his device. Like not just taking a look at what the news said, but like almost like saving everything that they populated.
Wow.
There was a Reddit post that it appears that he made based on his emails, where he was looking for ex-cons to participate in some study, and people were like emailing him. And ultimately you see Reddit suspends him, which I think was, at time of arrest and notification to the world. But there was also a really interesting sort of pattern of things where he read something on the news that said, police still looking for Hyundai Elantra, white in color, this year to this year, make and model. Within minutes, he searches for a car detailing place and then starts to shop for used cars. So it was almost like, I realized that they know my car.
Do you think that he got it detailed and they just didn't find the proof, like the receipt of that, like the proof of they did that?
Have to get rid of it and get something different. So like, again, does a normal person look to clean their car before they sell it? Sure. Right. But all of these things adding up, it really paints a picture.
Now, some believe that these murders were sexually motivated, and maybe Kohberger was targeting one of the girls in the King Road home. The serial killers that Kohberger was obsessed with, specifically Ted Bundy, typically sexually assaulted their victims. And the searches for pornography on Kohberger's phone point to the homicides being sexually motivated, even if a sexual assault wasn't committed at the house on King Road. And to be clear, there was no sexual assault actually committed, but that doesn't mean that this crime did not have a sexual motive. What was Bryan Kohberger searching related to pornography?
Yeah, so to not be too graphic with it, the consistent nature of the searches were non-consensual sex acts, which, I don't know what normal would be, but it stood out.
What do you say? Hold on.
Yeah, so to not be too graphic with it, the consistent nature of the searches were non-consensual sex acts, which, I don't know what normal would be, but it stood out to me I've done investigations for years and tons of mobile device extraction analysis, and seeing pornography is not weird. Seeing what someone is interested in is not weird. But the fact that this person had non-consensual, specifically only that, not one other thing that was a consensual sex act. They were all like aggressive or drugged.
Or sleeping.
Voyeurism. It was all consistently non-consensual
Voyeurism,
things.
you hear that? I know he was a peeping Tom. I know he was. I just know it.
And was this before, after the homicides, or both?
It was, I'm not sure.
It's autofill, so I don't know that we actually even have a date with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. When you're clearing your history, there's so many things that when you clear your history, you may not think about. Autofill is typically something you enter, and the browser wants to please you. So if it knows that you go to a specific site every day, it's like, oh, you're going to this news channel. As you start typing A, if you're going to ABC, it knows I'm going to save this for you. And those words were saved in the autofill for Chrome.
The Barnharts were hoping that they might be able to find a connection between Kohberger and the victims to answer the why behind this, even if it wouldn't make any sense. The investigators have said there was no connection. They found no connection between Bryan Kohberger and Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. I've been to the house many times on King Road, and you can see straight into Maddie's bedroom from that upper parking lot of the apartment building next door. Is that what you found? Zero connection, not one search of Maddie, not one search of Kaylee or Xana.
Not before, but again, he cleared a lot of his history. So if he was searching for it, we weren't able to find that on the devices. And that's one of the things we initially looked for right away. Any ties to the victims. After the fact, he was searching everything associated to the murders. And so he did have that information then.
While the connection was not found, it doesn't mean that Kohberger wasn't possibly watching one or more of the girls. I've always believed that he was watching Maddie. Well, look at what Heather and Jared found. They found a review of the Mad Greek restaurant on Google Maps on BK's phone. You can see it right there. There's been a lot of talk about the Mad Greek restaurant and speculation. Did you find anything related to that?
Yes, and I would love to specify this a little bit more. And this was the one finding that was that was released to the prosecution that they came back and said the defense didn't like it, which made me think we were onto something. Like, this is great. So there is a Google Map cache file that was recovered from the Android that showed Mad Greek, and it looked like I actually have it in front of me. It looked almost like a review, or if you think about it, if you Google in Google Maps and you look up restaurants nearby, you could call it, you could get directions, you could look at a menu. So it looks like all of those things were available. Now the issue, could it have Wi-Fi in that file? Absolutely, but I don't know. The issue is Mad Greek, their Wi-Fi name was Mad Greek. So it's not helpful to see what was in that listing. Mm-hmm. But what Jared and I had looked at a few times, and I plan to keep testing this to figure it out exactly. If the prosecution said, Heather, is it likely that the user was in Moscow and on Google Maps said nearby restaurants or bars and Mad Greek appeared? I would say yes. But if the defense came up and said, Heather, is it possible that from Pullman, Washington, the suspect searched for restaurants in Moscow and this came up, could that happen? I would say yes. So it's not like we can tie him to the location of Mad Greek.
But you could tie him to
Mad Greek, he physically saw Mad Greek on his phone.
So there may not have been a rock solid connection, and investigators couldn't.
I'm going to say that there was, okay? If he did a review, that is. If he did a review of that restaurant, there was definitely an altercation. He definitely went to the restaurant, whether it was to get takeout and he never even seen Maddie or Xana or anybody. I'm just, he just went in there, got takeout, and it was terrible. So he gave him a review. But he definitely, if he's doing reviews, he's definitely going in there.
Say for sure that Kohberger had ever been to the Mad Greek or had even seen Maddie or Xana there. He had at least, though, seen a review of the restaurant on his phone. Now let's get to Kohberger's obsession with serial killers. On Christmas night, Kohberger was searching for serial killers, and this went on into the early morning hours of December 26th, minute by minute. Those included Ted Bundy and Danny Rawlings, the Gainesville Ripper. Both of them murdered college co-eds.
Mhm.
Some were for specific serial killers, including Joseph Collinger, Cleophas Prince, Pee Wee Gaskins, Ed Kemper, and Dennis Rader. That's
I actually have the serial killer timeline on one of my tabs to
BTK.
go over with you guys.
And Kohberger was also watching material on YouTube related to Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, but Bundy certainly appeared to have been his favorite. You can see here
Oh
several.
yeah, this is what I was going to show you. So this is what I saw. Okay, so I can see some of these creators. Like I know some of these creators that they're like smaller creators or like my size, or that around my size. But then he's like got ABC News. He's got Nancy. You leave Nancy out of this. He's got the Moscow, police site. He's got freaking Harsh Reality. Oh, good grief. He's got Cluminati when she was doing Idaho 4 content.
Hashed image.
So the stuff that he was watching, that's like smaller creator, it seems like. It seems like they were all the ones that were pushing that he like that it was one of the roommates that did this or one of the boyfriends that did this or anybody, but after he was arrested, it wasn't him, but that's who they were blaming at the time. I feel like
From YouTube showing that Kohberger had watched and saved shows
now, I don't know who about Ed's messy beginning
featuring the movie American Psycho, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Kemper, and more. He also followed shows that discussed the Moscow murders investigation, and he watched the Moscow Police Department's video updates on the investigation.
I forget this guy's name. True Crime Rocket Science is that guy.
Now, this is just a small sampling.
And then there's Dr. Grande is that who this? Yeah.
Of what Kohberger was watching online when it came to the case. On December 29th, Bryan Kohberger was getting worried. He was searching things like paranoid psychopath, wiretapping, and serial killers. And he was also looking at the description of his car on the Moscow Police Department website and then looking for car detailing places and used car lots. Hours later, Pennsylvania State Police busted through the door of his parents' home in Albrightsville and took him into custody wearing his black hoodie that he'd played dress up in so many times before. It was the beginning of the end of Bryan Kohberger's fantasy world. This is now the only photo that Bryan Kohberger will ever have taken again. It's a mugshot, a booking photo.
Oh, another one
from
when he's older, maybe.
Idaho's maximum security institution. It is not a selfie.
What a look, What a look. His mouth looks like it's chapped or whatever. Like he's been licking his lips or doing something funky. I don't know what's going on there. His eyes look just gone. But his eyebrows look like they've grown back out here. He's probably like, well, forget it. I'm keeping my eyebrows then.
There he is only known as inmate 163214. And that's
boom. You tell it, Anjanette. That's all he's going to be. That's all he's going to be the rest of his life. I mean, there'll be some sucker like Brittany Hislop. Wonder what she's doing. Brittany Hislop. Let's look her up. Maybe she's contacted him, you never know. Did she ever go back to the internet, I wonder? Okay. It says Kentucky woman, Brittany Hislop, lovesick for Idaho killer. Yeah. She was obsessed previously with the JFK and a handful of other men, mostly inmates. I don't see her anywhere. 2 years ago. Yeah, she probably changed her name. She probably changed her name. I would have. I'll show you. Do you guys remember her? She was from the beginning of this case. Nobody was silenced. Bryan Kohberger said, I did it. He did it. It's fine. We knew he did it. We've known he's done it for a while, but but he said it out of his own mouth. But this is Brittany Hislop. Maybe she'll reconnect with him. I mean, he's not going to be trending here before too long. He's not going to be like a topic to really be talking about. So maybe she'll meet her perfect man, or maybe not. Yeah, we did a live over Danny Rolling. Yeah, the ISP. Yeah, State Highway Patrol or state. I'm sorry, ISP was involved. This Idaho State Police, the Moscow Police Department. They called. Okay, so Moscow Police Department. As soon as they walked into this crime scene, they were like, make some phone calls. So ISP got involved, and then the FBI got involved. The U.S. Marshals were involved. The Pennsylvania State Police was involved. The local Monroe Police were involved. So a lot of agencies were involved for it to be, if anyone's saying corruption. If I see corruption, and I will scream because no one's going to lose their job for Bryan Kohberger. I mean, I'm just sorry, Yeah, why would they frame a random guy from PA, right? Because he's from PA. No, he said he did it. We didn't put those words in his mouth. He said, I'm Bryan Kohberger, and I admit that I'm guilty. So these counts. Count 1, burglary. Count 2, murder for Xana Kernodle. Count 3, Ethan Chapin. Count 4, Kayla Gonzalez. Count 5, Madison Mogan. And I know I said the names wrong in the wrong order, but nobody's resigned. Nobody's resigned. Bill Thompson retired. No one resigned. It was his time to retire. He's like been in the office since 1993. You need to go read some documents. I'm going to get you I'm going to get you the Idaho. We're going to start with the Idaho. We're just going to start with the Idaho site because we don't want to overwhelm you. But you just go to this site and you go to Bryan Kohberger's name and you can read all those documents. I went to Hawaii. No one wants to fucking Hawaii. He's out playing in his garage band, probably. But that's for the Idaho.gov. That's the website. And then you just go under Bryan Kohberger's inmate number, if you didn't know, 163214. Forever ruined Valentine's Day for me. Thank you very much. And you can just read. There's like 1 million documents. I don't know how many documents we've read on this channel. Probably 2,000, 3,000. No, not many. That many. Probably 1,000. I say 1,000. There's no tunnel vision, Travis. He said he did it. Get out of my chat. Jeez. You're getting on my nerves now. Oh my God. Oh, and there's tunnels under the apartments. Under the house. There was tunnels, right? But then they just like hid them. They hid the tunnels real quick. Oh, man. Common sense is a thing, it really is. It's time. And this is what it is. It's time to go back to reality. You got to live in this non-reality that's called your life. And you got to escape into a case. And that was filled with conspiracy and disinformation. And now it's over. And now you have to go back to reality. Because there's not another case for you to latch onto and suck your mouth into. So I'm so sorry that this is over for you. There's a tear in my eye, but you don't need to keep coming out here and saying, well, no, this happened. No, this happened. No, he's in prison. He murdered these kids that were sleeping in their house. Nothing makes me angrier than when a man does something like this, says stuff like this. I'm just saying, that's not a man to me. So y'all will see me tomorrow because I like most of y'all. But Travis, you're a little nuts. You're a little nuts. You're a little nuts. But I feel like my blood pressure's up, so that's always great. I'm gonna go clean. Go read facts. I gotta just highlight this. Does he know where he's at? Did you get lost? Truth and transparency is if you go down the street, go around the corner, and then kiss my ass. That's where she's at. You're in the wrong chat. But I'm trying to get you to the right chat. I think that's the right chat for you. They are conspiracy. I think she thinks he's actually innocent too. So, yeah. Yeah. He probably laughed about him. There's plenty of cases arguments. It's crazy. There are some good ones out there too. I still want to read the transcript from Jillian and Veronica's court hearing. I still want to do that. Like we might do that tomorrow during the day or tomorrow at night because that's something like I want to hear what they had to say. It's really long though. But you know me, I'll always be reading some facts and I always be reading some documents. Oh man. You know me. Lana is a guiltier. Yeah. I know. I was trying to send him to the right direction, but I hit the 3 dots. She popped up on my timeline. Or was it her? Yeah, it was her. I hit those 3 dots 3 years ago, probably. You know, the ones that you can do not recommend this channel. And it came up and I was like, what are you trying to do to me? What did I do wrong? She's nuts, Scotty. She's nuts too. She is. She does live in Ohio, though. She lives close to me. Like, yeah. She says she said that she's lived in Ohio, so that's not doxing her. She said that. She's actually even said where she's from. That's how I know. But I'm like, dang, you be living close. Because I was really a different kind of human when this case first started. Like I was, if he would have came in, you know, a year, 2 years ago, I would have been screaming like a crazy person at him. And I was like, I remember the night I found out about Lana, I told Vincent, I was like, I'm going to go hit the 3 dots. Do not recommend, just because I will get so angry. I'll be like knocking on her door. Like, just kidding. I would never do that. But you know, I felt like it. Yeah, he can go there too. There's so many different creators out there that just, you know, it's that's truly what it is. That's what it is. Like a lot of people, this case, it was so interesting. It still is so interesting, but it was so interesting, right? So we kind of would come to the internet as soon as we would get home from work, or we would even listen at work or whatever we would do. And it kind of got us, it was almost like to some people and to most, you know, true crime is a form of entertainment. You know, we all want to know what's going on in the mind. Most of us want to know, like, you know, well, why killers do what they do, not start a bunch of conspiracies. But I think now that it's over and we never had a trial and it's just so fast and like there's still a lot of information coming out, I think with it being like that, a lot of people are like, oh crap, I've got, like, I don't have another case to go to, like, or, you know, that's why half the true crime creators are whacked out and they're arguing with each other because they can't pick up another case. They just can't do it. Like, I don't know. No, you're okay, Ladybug. You did great. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to come on. I don't know if I'll be on. I should be on during the day. But yeah, I should be on during the day. If I'm not, I'll be on during the night. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I want to do I want to come on and do like a skincare thing with you guys. Maybe I can't, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't have my stuff. I mean, I do have a car I can take with me. I don't know. I'll figure something out. We'll do something on the second channel tomorrow. It'll be fun. I think it'll be fun to do something over there. It'll be something different. So I'll just plan for like sometime in the early afternoon time. Because Vincent will be home, but I can always, you know, sneak away. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Thank you so much. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like on your way out, subscribe to the channel. We are almost to like our next number. I always look at the last number. I think it's like 22,700 subscribers. So I would love to make that number by the end of this weekend. We only need like 5, maybe 10 more. I think like 10 more. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so, because we do talk true crime every evening. And normally I don't have to get angry with people at the end of the live. But thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Just like the sunrise, you know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt.